Welcome to the top of the morning show. It's your girl TT from the D. I want to thank you for stopping by on this morning, on this terrific Tuesday, to check out the top of the morning show. I'm aware that there are several other platforms that you could have checked out, but you chose to check out TT from the D, and we are super excited about that. This morning's hot topic we're going to talk about and unpack is 10 hard things you shouldn't be afraid to do for yourself. Now, I know you're thinking like, oh, I got more than 10 things, TT. Or you might say, you know what, I can't think of anything that I'm afraid to do for myself. Well, let's talk about it. Let's look. And I'm going to give you a little quote to kick us off from Mae West. You only live once, but if you do it right, once is enough. Yeah. So the first thing on our list is don't be afraid to accept and appreciate life changes. Now, as we get older and we get wiser, life changes. And guess what? As you mature and you grow, your life is supposed to change. If your life continues to be the same, you're doing the same, you're living the same, then are you really growing? That's something that you had to really look at. Are you really having life's experiences? And if you aren't, you're not really living, right? And I know sometimes things in our lives aren't meant to stay, like people. People aren't meant to stay in your life forever. Sometimes people are meant to come in your life for a reason, a season, right? A meantime and a between time. I know you've heard that. And if you haven't, then you heard it for the first time on today. And sometimes the changes we see we don't want. I get it. But it's called growth and change. And yes, growing pains can be painful, but they are necessary in order to know that we are growing, right? Number 2, don't be afraid to trust yourself. We bet on everybody else, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. We bet on everybody else, but we bet on ourselves last if we even bet on ourselves. We don't take the time to always appreciate how far we've come in life. Where we used to be is not where we currently are. And as we're growing, yes, it hurts and stretching and the pruning. But once you get to that next level, you got to always remember where you came from. Like, how did you get there? Right? Trees grow, water, you water it, it grows. Plants, when you plant fruits, flowers, vegetables, they got to grow, but you got to water them, right? We want everything to grow. When you have a baby, you don't want that baby to stay a baby for the rest of their life. They got to grow. Everything has to grow and to trust the process. And we have to appreciate where we've come from, the growth. And I know we've been through a lot, and yeah, but you got to give yourself some credit. You got to give yourself some credit. And that old saying, good things take time. Anything worth having is worth sacrificing, waiting for. These are all great cliches, but do we really, really believe it? You got to remind yourself that it's okay to live in the moment. Because what's for you is for you. I know you've heard that saying before. Number 3, don't be afraid to live your truth. Walk in that thing. Tell yourself, I am enough, because you are. You may not be enough for her. You may not be enough for him. You may not be enough for them, but you definitely are enough for you. Accept who you are. Accept the good with the ugly, the bad with the cute, right? The flaws with the perfection. And admit when you've made a mistake, because guess what? You can't hide from yourself. You can lie to yourself. You can lie to everybody else. But at the end of the day, a lie is a lie, and a lie does not fit where the truth sits. Deal with your truth. Unpack that truth. Because your truth is your truth. It's your lesson to learn. Right? You got to learn to trust yourself. Don't beat yourself up when you make a mistake, because life is full of mistakes. In order to know we're doing something right, we got to make a mistake. And everything you do has purpose attached to it. Don't be afraid to walk alone. Don't be afraid to sit alone. Don't be afraid to live alone. If you are not afraid to do those things, you definitely can walk with other people and live with other people. Number 4, don't be afraid to craft a daily routine that's right for you. In your life, you're going to have to choose you to live for you. You got to choose the path that feels best for you. You can't worry about what they want you to do, what they need you to do. What about what you want to do, what you're destined to do, right? And when you think about this, when you stand the ladder up and you're trying to get on top of something, right? You're not starting from the top, you're starting from the bottom. And you got to take steps. You got to trust that you're going to get to the top and you're not going to fall halfway up, right? Follow your intuition, your gut instincts. They often, more than not, lead you correctly. It's your mind that plays tricks on you, right? Number 5, don't be afraid to say no to unnecessary obligations. People will take up your time. They are, as my husband and I say, they are vampire time thieves, right? In a world that's just so busy, constantly going. You would think you live in New York no matter where you live. Even if you lived in Vermont, you may think I live in New York because I don't have a New York minute. Some of you will get that, some of you won't. But no wasted time, no fluff time, no regret, right? You want to have that. You want to be able to set aside time to get things done, to be accomplishing your short-term and your long-term goals. Commit to yourself to get it done. Say no to things that's wasting your time. Some people just seem like they waste your time on purpose, and I don't think they do necessarily, but the way the adversary sometimes set us up will show you that. Number 6, don't be afraid to give yourself enough mental and emotional space. Now, if you think you will think yourself right out of happiness, right out of a blessing. Sometimes you put up roadblocks for it, right? Because you're worrying and you're not really thinking about tomorrow. You're worrying about today. You're living in today. You're stuck in today. You're not even trying to see tomorrow. Well, we don't all know if tomorrow will come, but we certainly hope it does. And we don't want to limit ourselves to just today. We want to open our minds for tomorrow. Number 7, don't be afraid to make more time for the right relationships. This is a doozy. Some of you will be like, what, TT? And some of you will say, yeah, I feel that. See, not everybody will appreciate what you want to do for yourself. And they won't always appreciate what you want to do for them. You got to figure out who's worth your time, who's worth your attention, who's worth you giving up some of your you time for them. And if your time and energy is misspent on the wrong people, with the wrong relationships, you'll miss out on the right person, the right people, and the right relationships. If you are in a season of building your business, your brand, you don't have time to be messing around with people who are lost, who don't know what they want to do from time to time, day to day, moment to moment, or second to second. You don't want to deal and waste time with friends who have been friends from your childhood, but you feel like I gotta be their friend because we've known each other, but they don't want to do nothing with their life. They're always negative. They're not doing anything to accomplish short-term, long-term, any type of goals. Then what are you doing with them? Why are you wasting your time? You can't. You can't. And if you do, and then you end up getting mad, don't get mad at them. It was you that allowed them to do it. Remember, people only do what you allow them to do. You can end up in a tedious cycle of rolling friendships, superficial romances, fake friendships, fake romances, instead of waiting out. Choose yourself rather than others, or settling for people you know. You know when they ain't it. And you still be like, I think I could fix them. Now you gotta know. And yes, you gotta try, because nobody's perfect. Okay, so when you say I don't know, you might not know, and that's fine, because we don't always know everything, right? We're not clairvoyant, but you do get that inkling, like, you know what, this just don't seem to be adding up. Do the math not adding. Y'all know that saying, right? Then do something about it. Those people will love you from a distance, but you got to learn to love yourself best and first. Number 8, don't be afraid to learn something new. Oh my God, it's the best thing ever. Life is like a book, right? You want to read, but when you're done with the book, even if it's a good book, you put it to the side and you find something different. And some of you will keeping on. But if you love to read, then what's up with the next book? Educate yourself, broaden your horizons, right? You are a book. Your life was written, and you're telling your story every day. Verbally, physically, mentally, spiritually. You just don't know it. And we don't need to learn everything, but we need to learn some things. And those of us who take the time and the initiative to pursue self-knowledge, We do a lot better than those that sit back and say, I just can't think about it. I'm not built for that. I can't. Yeah, well, when you put that can't word in your vocabulary and you own it, that's what you're going to get. You can, but you can. Number 9, don't be afraid to explore some of your dreams. Some of you have amazing dreams, but you're not doing amazing things. And some of you, you know some amazing people with amazing dreams and you're rooting them on and you're supporting them, but who's supporting you? Who's rooting you on? Do you see yourself lining up for yourself? Do you find that you hide behind other people, their decisions, their lack of doing, their laziness, their double-mindedness? Think about what it is you like, what it is you love. What are some of the gifts and talents that God gave you naturally? What are some of your passions that just burn and you come to life when you do them? Think about that, seriously, and do something about it. Don't just dream about it. Make it happen. If you want it, figure out how to get it. Don't settle, and don't sleep on yourself. Number 10, and the last one for this morning. Don't be afraid of other people's empty judgments. What does that mean, TT? Well, the greatest and most gratifying experiences in life cannot be seen or touched. They have to be felt in your heart. You can actually see it in your mind, but you got to do the work to be able to have it come out and manifest. I think one of the most amazing things is the human heart, the way we feel. But sometimes it gets tainted by people. We get hurt, we become turtles, we lock ourselves in our shells, and we pass judgment on everybody and make everybody pay for something that somebody else done, and it's not really their fault, and it's not fair. So we have to do better with that. We got to do better with that, ladies and gentlemen. Don't let people invalidate you, and you don't need people to validate you. No one else occupies your body but you. Nobody can see life through your eyes but you. Don't let people judge you, because can't nobody really judge you but you, the one that gives us life. But we're so hell-bent on worrying about what people do that we don't even really pay attention that we are amazing until it's too late. So, choose you on this day. Heck, I want you to choose you every day. Believe in yourself. It's not enough that I believe in you. And I could, and I might, if I know you. And sometimes the people that don't know you are the people that'll support you and believe in you the most. I know you know that. I know you know that. Don't be afraid of change. Don't be afraid to be by yourself. Don't be afraid of people, their judgment. A lot of times people are passing judgment on you because they don't want anybody to look at them. You ever heard that? People want to magnify and put the spotlight on you because they don't want anybody to recognize what they're lacking, what they're going through. And when we're all just people trying to find our way in this world, trying to discover who we are, who we were meant to be, if you take the time to figure it out, you'll be happy with her. You'll be happy with him. You'll be happy with you. Well, that's all I got for you on this terrific Tuesday. Tap in tonight for Tap In Tuesday. It's going to be a really interesting show. It's going to be a quick show. I have rehearsal because I'm working on amazing productions coming up October 21st and 22nd. So the show will go a little later than normal on tonight, but that's okay for those of you that want to stop by. So normally we go at 8 o'clock, but for the month of October, we will have to go at 9:30. So we're going to be going fast, right? It could be from my car, or it could be from a place. I don't know. It could be on location. We'll see. But I hope you tap in and check your girl out. Until then, I'll see you soon.